Hi, my name is Matthew, your math learning strategist. Today we're going to work on a problem on Markdown. So imagine an equipment company paid $332.79 for a tent. Overhead is 23% of the regular selling price and profit is 17% of the regular selling price. During the clearance sale, the tent was sold at a markdown of 30%. What was the operating profit or loss on the sale? So for all these problems, first we need to identify what variables are given and what is not given. So we know that $332.79 is given, but what is it? What does it represent? Since it says that the company paid for it, this is the cost to the company, not the price that the company sold the tent at. So this is the cost, not the regular selling price. It is important because they told you that overhead is 23% of the regular selling price. Yes, we don't have that number yet, but we can still do something about it. Similar, profit is 17% of the regular selling price. We don't have that number yet, so we just can't get an exact amount for overhead and profit. But we can set it up in an equation, right? So just keep that in mind. It is these percentages of the regular selling price, but not the costs, right? So how can we find the regular selling price? So that is the first step. Let's try to find the regular selling price, right? So we need to set up an equation. So we want to find the equation that relates selling price, cost, overhead, and profit. And S equals to C plus E plus P is the equation. So we take our overhead and profit and we can create mini equations out of it, right? E is just 0.23S represents that the overhead is 23 of the regular selling price, and P equal to 0.17S represents profit as 17% of the regular selling price. So we can sub these into our regular equation later, okay? But we also know that the markdown is 30%. That means the clearance price is marked down 30% of the regular selling price, so we can set up an equation for that. So SR, which is clearance price, is equal to S and then 1 minus the 30% or 0.3. Okay? So with these equations in mind, now we can plug it in and solve it. So when we plug it in, this is what we have, right? We take S equals C plus E plus P and we plug in the mini equations of the expenses here and profit. Group that together to make 0.4S. When I take S minus 0.4S, I get 0.6S. And then finally, when I divide to the other side, I find that the regular selling price is $554.65. With the regular selling price, now I can plug that in to my markdown equation and find my clearance price, right? So $554.65 times 1 minus 0.3. That equals to $388.26, and that is my clearance price. So remember, we still have to answer the question. So what is the question? The question was, what was the operating profit or loss on the sale? So we haven't found the profit or loss yet. So keep in mind, the clearance, when you're setting a regular selling price, the selling prices can change, but the costs and expenses remain the same. So therefore, only the profit is going to change. So if I have that in mind, I can set up a new equation. So this is the same selling price equation, okay? I marked it SR because I know the selling price changed, so the profit changed. So I marked it PR. I put in all my values that I calculated from before, and then I can calculate that the profit is actually negative 72.1. That means there was a loss of $72.10 at the clearance price.